Thank you for joining us today. We are going to do a preview for Soddy Daisy football season. And we're so excited Coach Justin Barnes has joined us. Coach, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Now, tell us, how many years have you now been the coach at Soddy Daisy?
This will be my ninth year.
Ninth year.
So we're headlong into it, you know.
I'd have never guessed that many years, honestly. I guess time just kind of flies.
It does. You know, you think about how long ago, when I actually first walked into the building, but other days it just seems like yesterday.
Yeah. So, Coach, tell us a little bit about your staff. I don't know if you had much turnover in the off season, but just share a little bit about your staff.
We had 0 turnover on our staff, which is always a good aspect of things. You know, you don't have to go around teaching new things or anything like that. We've got a great staff. Carter Carvel's basically our defensive head coach. He kind of runs the show on that side of the ball. He's got 30 plus years of experience in college and high school. He's done it all. You know, special teams coordinator at Auburn. He was running backs, DBs, and O-line at UTC. So he actually recruited me into college, and so we have a good relationship with that. And then we have Tommy Morrell, who's going into his 4th year with us. He's one of our co-defensive coordinators along with Cody Rayborn. And you know, Cody does the defensive line, Tommy does inside linebackers, and then we have Tyler Martin, who's a volunteer assistant for us and does a great job for us, and he's going into his 5th year. So he's one of my longer assistants. And then we also have Caleb Collier, who we hired from Hickson 2 years ago, who does our O-line and our strength and conditioning program and does a fabulous job. You know, he's one of the only certified strength and conditioning coaches in Hamilton County that's not at a private school.
Okay. So. That's correct. And I guess you basically are the guru on the offensive side of the ball.
I handle most of that, yes. That's where I like to dabble a little bit. And so I've been lucky to have guys like Carter and Tommy and Cody who, you know, I tell them what I want, they go about it and do what needs to be done.
Okay. So, well, let's talk a little bit about your players this year. So how many boys do you have out this year, and maybe even break down about your senior class, if you will, a little bit?
We have 64 players right now. Our senior class is actually one of the biggest we've had in a while. We have 18 seniors. Not all of them have played all 4 years, but you know, on the good aspect is that we do have a good base that have played all 4 years for us, and then some of the guys that have come out this year have been quite the surprise for us. And you know, guys that have played baseball in the past or basketball, and they've come out and, you know, going into their senior year, they didn't want to miss out on an opportunity to play the sport, and you know, they've really done a good job, and we're looking forward to see what they can do Friday, which is our first scrimmage. So,
okay, who y'all scrimmage Friday?
So we're having a 5-way scrimmage. We normally go to Bradley, but they're getting new turf, so it's at McMinn this year. It's McMinn, Bradley, Baylor, and Eastridge.
Okay, all right. So during the off season, I know also some changes. Tito Westaway does realignment and stuff, and you guys were in 5A last year. This year you're in 4A.
Yes.
So being a new classification, new region. So tell us a little bit about your region this year.
Yeah, so our numbers have dropped a little bit over the few years. So we're a little over 1,000 students in the school. So we dropped to 4A. You know, the biggest thing about it is it's just, you know, schools more like us. You know, size-wise and things like that. We're not stuck in with those, you know, bigger schools like we have been in the past, where, you know, we're playing Walker Valley, who has 1,600 kids, and you know, Ray has 15 something. So you know, it'll be good. It's not going to be any easier of a region by any means, because we're in with teams like East Hamilton and Red Bank, but you know, it gives you, you know, makes you feel good that we know that we've gone out and won the region in 5A, being one of the smallest schools, and competed with some of those big schools. Now being able to play in a region that's like us, it gives us a lot of confidence going into it.
Well, one of the things I saw about the new region that kind of excited me for Soddy Daisy is it brings Red Bank and Hickson in your region. Those are kind of cross-town rivals. So I guess that's kind of exciting getting to play those guys.
It's definitely exciting because, you know, those two have been our traditional rivals for the most part. You know, the other aspect is outside of Sequoia, out of Madisonville, everybody else in our region is in town. And so, you know, for travel and things like that, it's going to be a lot better. And, you know, hopefully it has creates bigger fan population
absolutely,
gates,
sure.
you know, because you know, it's hard when you're playing Oak Ridge or somebody like that.
Lenore City, all that
those
there.
they don't always travel well,
Right,
and
right.
you don't travel well going up there because it's so far. And so hopefully there'll be a lot of packed houses in the
Sure.
Robert Talaska.
So help me now. We've already mentioned Sequoia and Hickson, Red Bank, East Hampton Central.
Central. All right, so we have us, Red Bank, Hickson, East Hamilton, Central, Eastridge, and Sequoia.
Okay.
Madison.
So that's also a little different because if I'm not mistaken, last year your region was only like 4 teams.
4 teams. So last year was 4 teams: Lenore City, Ray County, and Walker Valley. And so
Right.
that, with an off weekend there, it left you 7 other games
Right.
you had to find, which was a struggle sometimes. And so kind of had to take who you could get. This year, I only had to find a handful of games,
Yeah.
and so.
Maybe speak to that. Who are your non-region opponents?
So our non-region opponents, we open up with Loudon here
Okay.
on August 20th, who is
I'm not very familiar with them.
They're a 3A team.
Okay.
They've been in the same region as Red Bank the last few years.
Okay.
And so they've had some good battles going back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
They're a 3A powerhouse, and so it'll be a good first test for us. We play Signal Mountain week 2, Tyner, and Ooltewah. So
Okay.
trying to keep some that we've played in the past
Yeah.
who are pretty good rivals, and will be some good gates, and they're in town. That's
Yeah.
the important. So.
Okay, and I believe that first game is on the 20th,
August
right
20th,
here.
yes, sir.
Here
At
at
home.
Sunday. Now, also I noticed the Jamboree at Finley. You played 2 games, is that correct?
We played 2 games. We played Brainerd at 7 p.m. and then we played Lookout Valley at 8:30. So,
Okay.
there's a little bit of discrepancy in size-wise with Lookout Valley, and so what we plan on doing is our varsity will have the first little bit versus
Yeah.
Brainerd and
Yeah.
see how it goes, and then but Lookout Valley will be some younger kids to get them out under the lights and see what they can do. It'll be a good experience for them to get out and play in a big atmosphere with some bright lights.
Sure, that's always exciting.
We'll need some of them to do that on Friday nights in the fall, and so it'll be a good experience for them.
All right. Well, football season is basically here, so encourage you to definitely write down on your calendar the 20th of August, the very first day to kick off against Loudon here at 7:30. This is the first of 3 interviews we're going to do with Coach Barnes, so just encourage you to keep on watching for Soddy Daisy, find out more information about the team.